For 20,000 years, the galaxy had been silent about one thing: humanity. Once, humans had been one of the greatest civilizations, spreading across star systems with their ships and technology. Their presence was known and respected, sometimes feared, but then, without any warning, they disappeared. No message, no war, no disaster recorded. They simply vanished from every star chart and history book. For centuries, alien races debated what might have happened. Some believed humans destroyed themselves through endless conflict. Others thought they had left the galaxy to explore places beyond known space. Some whispered darker stories, imagining a great enemy had wiped them out. Despite these tales, no one had any proof, and the mystery of humanity's disappearance became a quiet question mark that no one dared to solve. Life in the galaxy moved on. Empires rose and fell. Alliances formed and broke, but the absence of humans remained an unsolved puzzle. Then, unexpectedly, sensors at the edge of known space detected a faint signal. It was weak and irregular, unlike the steady transmissions from other species or ships. The signal came from deep within the uncharted outer rim, a place long thought empty or too dangerous for regular travel. Curious and cautious, ships were sent to investigate. What they found stunned everyone. Rising slowly through the darkness was a massive ship, its shape unlike anything anyone had seen before. It was enormous, far larger than the biggest vessels, currently in service by any known race, and its hull was covered in patterns and designs that shimmered with unknown energy. The ship moved steadily toward the center of the galaxy, as if it was on a mission known only to itself. Sensors showed it had powerful defenses, but it gave no sign of attacking or communicating beyond the faint signal it sent out. The Galactic Council, a group of leaders from many species who managed peace and trade, was quickly called into emergency session. Their chambers, usually filled with calm discussion, buzzed with fear and confusion. Was this returning ship a threat, ready to conquer or destroy? Or was it a message of hope, a sign that humanity had survived after all this time? The questions swirled as the council debated their next move. Knowing that any wrong choice could change the future of the entire galaxy, everyone watched the ancient vessel, holding their breath as the mystery of humanity's return slowly began to unfold, bringing with it a new wave of uncertainty and excitement unlike anything they had ever known. The massive ship, now named the Leviathan by those who watched it from afar, slowly settled into orbit around a neutral star system, one untouched by war or political claims. Its enormous hull was covered with dents, scratches, and scars, silent reminders of battles fought long ago and the relentless passage of time. This was no new ship. It was a relic of an ancient era, yet it still hummed with power and authority. When a small diplomatic craft cautiously approached the Leviathan, hoping to make peaceful contact, it was immediately met with a breathtaking display of force. Weapons, unlike any known to the current galaxy, flared briefly, sending a warning, so clear and powerful that it would have been enough to destroy entire fleets if unleashed fully. Yet, in an unexpected act of restraint, no attack followed. Instead, the Leviathan broadcast a message in the universal language, perfectly clear and without emotion. We return not to conquer, but to reclaim. The words hung heavy in the minds of everyone who heard them. What did humanity want to reclaim after being silent for so long? Was it territory, technology, or something far more personal? Confusion mixed with cautious hope as the Galactic Council debated what to do next. Eventually, they decided to send a small group of trusted emissaries aboard the great ship to discover its intentions. As the emissaries entered the Leviathan, they were met not with crowds or welcoming committees, but with a ghostly silence. The corridors echoed with the sounds of their own footsteps, the air thick with the weight of centuries lost. The ship felt alive yet abandoned, as if it held secrets and memories waiting to be uncovered. Strange symbols glowed faintly on walls, and ancient machinery hummed softly, maintaining the life of the vessel itself. The explorers found signs of hurried departure, personal belongings left behind, and logs that hinted at a civilization struggling against unknown enemies. Questions raced through their minds. Who had been aboard this ship in its final days? What had forced humanity into silence? And most importantly, what did they hope to find now? As they ventured deeper, a sense of awe mixed with fear settled over them. The Leviathan was more than just a ship. It was a floating monument to a forgotten past, and possibly the key to the galaxy's future. The emissaries knew that what they discovered next could change everything they believed about humans and the universe itself. Outside, the galaxy watched and waited, holding its breath for answers that might never come, or for a revelation that would shake the stars forever. As the emissaries explored deeper into the Leviathan, they uncovered astonishing truths about humanity's fate and legacy. Truths that challenged everything the galaxy had believed. Humanity had not vanished or been destroyed, as many had assumed. Instead, they had survived in isolation, hidden from the wider universe for millennia. More than that, humans had grown stronger, both in technology and culture, developing abilities and knowledge beyond what any other species could imagine. They had mastered the fusion of biology and machinery, creating living ships and devices that seemed almost alive, capable of healing and adapting. This advancement was not just in tools, but in understanding life itself, pushing the boundaries between organic and artificial existence. However, this brilliance came from necessity, born in the darkest of times. Records and holograms aboard, the Leviathan revealed a devastating cosmic war fought against a force older than the stars, a malevolent entity that had threatened to consume entire galaxies. Humanity's silence was no accident, but a deliberate act of sacrifice. To protect the galaxy, they had imprisoned this enemy in a distant dimension, a place beyond normal space and time, sealing it away through unimaginable cost and power. The battle was not over. The enemy was not destroyed, only contained, and the prison holding it was weakening. Humanity's return was a warning, a desperate plea for help to unite the galaxy before the ancient evil could break free. The emissaries felt a mix of fear and respect for the humans. They were dangerous, yes, wielding power that could destroy as easily as it could protect. But their fight was not selfish. It was for survival, for the future of all life in the stars. The Leviathan itself was a fortress and a beacon, a symbol of resilience and determination. Every scar on its hull, every flicker of its power systems told stories of battles fought in the shadows, victories won at great cost, and a hope that had never died. The emissaries now faced a difficult choice. Could the galaxy trust these long-lost humans, or were they too risky to embrace? Could old fears be set aside to face a threat that no one could handle alone? As they prepared to send word back to the Council, the weight of this knowledge settled over them. The legacy of humanity was no longer just a memory. It was a living force, ready to reshape the destiny of the universe. The silence of 20,000 years had ended, but the true story was only just beginning, and the galaxy held its breath once more. As the Leviathan prepared to leave the neutral system, its sensors began to pick up troubling signals, disturbances, in the very fabric of space and time near the distant prison holding the ancient enemy. These disturbances were small at first, subtle fluctuations that only the most sensitive instruments could detect. But soon, the anomalies grew stronger, sending ripples of alarm across the galaxy. For many years, powerful civilizations had ignored humanity's warnings or dismissed them as desperate stories from a forgotten past. Now, the evidence was undeniable. The ancient enemy's prison was weakening, its barriers fracturing under an unknown strain. This revelation shook the galactic powers to their core. Old rivalries and disputes over borders, resources, and trade seemed insignificant compared to this new threat. The galaxy faced a danger that could wipe out entire star systems if left unchecked. In response, humans aboard the Leviathan reached out with an offer that few could refuse, a sharing of their advanced knowledge and technology to build a united defense. This was unprecedented. Species that had fought for centuries now had to consider working together, guided by those they had once feared or forgotten. Yet, despite the urgency, suspicion ran deep. Many questioned whether trusting humanity was wise. The Leviathan was still seen as a dangerous symbol, capable of immense destruction. Could this ship that had arrived with such power truly be the galaxy's savior? Or was it a harbinger of doom? In the political halls and war rooms, debates flared with intensity. Some argued that accepting humanity's help was the only chance for survival. Others warned against giving too much control to a race with a mysterious past and unknown motives. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the Leviathan itself, a hidden danger stirred. Unseen saboteurs worked quietly to weaken the ship from within, exploiting cracks in security and using knowledge gained from secret alliances. Their goal was to stop the humans, believing that if the Leviathan fell, so would the threat of the ancient enemy, or so they hoped. These acts of betrayal added tension and uncertainty to an already fragile alliance. The emissaries and crew aboard the Leviathan had to stay vigilant, not only against external threats, but also from within their own ranks. The stakes had never been higher, and the future of the galaxy hung in a delicate balance. Every decision, every alliance, and every secret carried the weight of survival. As the Leviathan readied for the journey toward the weakening prison, the galaxy watched with a mixture of hope and fear, knowing that the coming battle would test the limits of courage, trust, and unity in ways never before imagined. When the moment of truth arrived, the Leviathan stood at the forefront of a massive fleet composed of many species united by a common cause, the survival of the galaxy. The ancient enemy, long imprisoned but now unleashed by the weakening of its cosmic prison, poured into real space with terrible force and fury. Horrors beyond imagination swarmed across the battlefield, twisting reality and threatening to destroy everything in their path. The combined forces of countless star systems fought bravely, but the enemy's power was unlike anything they had faced before. It bent light, warped time, and corrupted the minds of those who came too close. Just when hope seemed to fade, humanity's unique technologies emerged as a turning point. Their ships moved with a strange fluidity, adapting and healing as if alive, while their weapons struck precisely at the enemy's weak points, tearing apart the shadowy creatures. More importantly, the humans showed a fierce determination, a spirit that refused to give in no matter the odds. Their courage inspired allies who had once doubted them, forging a stronger bond among the galaxy's defenders. Together, they executed a daring plan to reseal the ancient enemy, using a combination of human sacrifice and advanced technology. It was a costly effort, one that demanded great bravery and selflessness, but in the end, the prison was restored, stronger and more secure than ever. As the dust settled, the galaxy witnessed more than just victory. It saw a new beginning. Humanity, once silent for 2 millennia, now rose as a leader and protector in a cosmic community that had been forced to unite. The Leviathan, once feared, as a dangerous relic, became a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder that even after centuries of silence, humanity's voice could roar louder than any star. This new era promised cooperation, growth, and shared destiny, where differences were set aside to face common threats. The legacy of the past remained, but the future was bright, fueled by the courage and unity that had saved countless worlds. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter as the galaxy looked forward to a time where humanity's dawn was no longer a secret, but a beacon guiding all toward peace and progress.